Bowie for Slane 87, and yes it is, because he's here behind me. So let's have a look at a video first, and then we'll have an interview with David Bowie live at Slane. First off, David Bowie and Mick Jagger together dancing on the streets. Well, here we are, David, in the relative splendour of Slane.
Yes.
It is quite nice here, isn't it?
It's absolutely beautiful.
Now, I do know that Mick Jagger told you quite a lot about here. He seemed to think that the Stones had a great time here.
Oh, he loved it. He thought it was the most beautiful place to play. So it's, looking out from the stage, it was the most attractive looking sight that he'd ever worked on.
They also tell me that you went up and down the Boyne earlier on today.
Yeah,
true?
We had just a little boat ride up and down, yeah. Very nice.
For the people with no tickets.
Oh, that's cold.
Oh, well, yeah. Listen, it's been a long time since you've been here, because you came to Ireland for a pop program called Like Now, a long time ago.
About 69, was it? 60?
That's right, Bill Keating, who's very pleased to be producing this program as well.
Yeah, and apparently they lost the tapes or something.
Oh, have they?
Well, they got wiped. Yeah, because I was trying to get hold of them.
Oh, for nostalgia reasons?
Yeah, just to pick up some of those things, but they've all gone.
How come it took you so long to get back to us here?
You know, I really don't know. I wanted to come on the Serious Moonlight tour, but that thing moved in such a mysterious way. I mean, we'd planned on doing a much smaller tour on Serious Moonlight, but it grew out of all proportion. Honestly, it's really snowballed after the success of the album. And suddenly I was flying, and the tour just got most peculiar, because we'd fly from London off to Paris, then down to Germany and back to France, and it was very spotty in that way. And Dublin just got rode out of it, unfortunately, but this time I made sure that we got him to do Ireland, because I really wanted to do Ireland this last time, so I'm very pleased.
You have friends here as well, don't you?
Yeah, I have a couple of friends here, yeah.
And of course the Glass Spider tour is I mean, you're just in here from Barcelona.
Yeah.
And North America is weeks away.
Yeah, it's not that long, it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks away.
And how many dates over there?
Oh, Lord, it's a full 2 months, so I guess it must be something like 50 over there. And then when we finish that, I'm going to go through to Russia. That's the next one.
Excellent.
We do 5 cities there. We do Moscow, Leningrad, and we've been offered 3 others, one of them Minsk, and I don't know what the other 2 are. Or I can't pronounce them, one of the 2.
Will they tell you when we get there?
They'll probably tell us when we get there, yeah.
I suppose Elton John was the one that opened up that door.
It certainly was the first pop artist, to my knowledge, to have worked there, yeah. But this year has been very fruitful in letting Western acts go in. At the moment, there's Bill Graham's just taken a bunch of sort of 60s artists over. He took over Santana, and who else was it there? The Doobie Brothers, was it? Doobie Brothers, Bonnie Raitt, and a kind of a peace concert thing, which was very successful. My understanding is they got something like 25,000 kids. It was just great.
You're obviously looking forward to going
there. It's going to be wonderful. I've been there as a tourist. I'm going to have to put these on. Excuse me. I've got a very weak left eye. And it's not the sun itself, but it's the ultraviolet.
The glare coming through.
Yeah, I have a pupil which is permanently enlarged, so I see very well at night, but not so good in the day.
It's great on TV.
This is not being Ponzi. I really need it, folks. Yeah, I went to Russia about 4 or 5 times, and twice I've taken the Trans-Siberian Express over. So I've really been into the heartland. Really been into the heartlands of Russia.
You went as a tourist, just to see what it was like
as a tourist,
yourself.
yeah. And I adore the people over there. I had a wonderful time. And really, the only thing that I found bureaucratic was Moscow itself, which is a little bit like central casting. I mean, the people are very, very bureaucratic there. But I think that's the public face that the older governments wished people to perceive Russia as being. But things are changing under Gorbachev quite radically. I don't know how much he's got the Politburo behind him. I think one hears different stories, but I think he's trying to accelerate change as much as he can in the short time that I feel he might have in power.
Of course, you are a follower of politics.
Not politics so much, but social change, which of course incorporates politics, but I think it's the most reassuring thing to have happened in ages to have Gorbachev step in and try and bring in this new guard. I think that's most encouraging. And if the Americans can see that that is a good thing, then maybe things could work out a lot better.
David, your home, it seems to me, must be in America now, because you've signed to EMI America, and New York is the address for your fan club. Is that your home now?
I'm not too pro fan club, so I don't have very much to do with it.
Why not?
I've never been a fan club man. I don't like them.
Well, what about the people who feel that this is their only way to get close to you?
I'm not very comfortable with that. I just don't like I never was a fan club. I never joined a fan club. And I just don't understand why other people want to do it. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I don't know. I could never conceive of America being my home at all. I have spent such a long time there. I've spent almost the whole of this year, other than this tour, there. It's a good place for getting one's musicians together, the recording facilities, and like the potential for rehearsals is terrific over there. Say for touring, I mean, we took a whole complex in New York to rehearse this tour, and it's just impossible to find that kind of room anywhere else, you know. But I wouldn't again feel comfortable with the idea of considering myself an American resident at all. I feel far more relaxed in Europe.
America must be a good business base.
It's definitely a good business base, a place to work from and a place to pull things together, yeah. But not a place that I would wish to live.
On this tour, a lot of people have said that they miss a lot of the very old songs.
Yes.
I go back to the 70s. Are you performing any of those at Slane today?
Yes, I am.
I've done that. I mean, what ones, for instance, would Starman get a look in?
No.
Okay,
so of the ones that are already in place, I've got things like China Girl, Heroes, Fashion, Modern Love, Blue Jean, Let's Dance, Fame, and then to those I've added things like Gene Genie, Young Americans, White Light, White Heat, and a couple of others.
Right. Do you still get a buzz from playing those songs?
Yes, I do. On a show like this, where you can't do much else than just sing and have a good time, in a daylight situation, it's probably the best thing to do. And so that's why I've specifically added those songs for this particular show.
So you won't be doing them afterwards?
No, because the lit show is a completely different kettle of poisson. The whole thing is so different to this. It's another world, and it works far more on its theatrical content. With this, it's a little bit of one and half a dozen of the other. So
it's not quite Neil Diamond, of course.
No, not really. Not really.
Now, China Girl was made in Australia. I know the video was made in Australia, and there was quite a lot of friction about that.
I was surprised. I thought that America were going to react in much the same way as England did, but eventually, in fact, it got more exposure in America than it got anywhere else, I think.
Well, they were prepared to play it, weren't they?
Yeah, but the British had a bad time. Well, I don't know. There was such a lot of sensationalism behind it, which seems to be the way of the British at the moment. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
You don't get...
Was that something you'd like to do again?
Yes, it was good. It was hard for me to fall into his ways. They're very professional, and I'm not really very professional. He writes parts out and things, and I'm not used to that. But he did a magnificent job on the album for me, but I don't think I would want to venture back into that sound again. I felt caught up in something that I wasn't really prepared for. It gave me so much accessibility to a new audience, which I was thankful for. Of course, one can only be thankful for something like that. But in another way, it stilted me in as much that kind of sound and that kind of look and what I was doing at that time was thereafter expected of me, you know, and I wasn't really I didn't want to get cornered like that, you know. So
you're a creature of change anyway.
Yeah, so it would be inevitable that I wouldn't be working with Niall again. Yeah. I like him and we get on fine, but I don't want to go that way particularly. It was nice to do it then at that particular time, but I'm very excited about the next album as it happens.
Of course,
I've been having a lot of ideas on the tour for something really quite experimental. So I'm putting one of my older hats on for that.
That sounds good.
I'm going to go a bit potty, I think.
Great. Well, look, we have to finish up because you're changing into your stage gear, etc.
Yeah.
So just a quick message for your fans here.
I'll take my glasses off for this. Listen, it's absolutely delightful to be here, and I do mean that. It's an honour to be in Ireland, and I'm very happy to have played here. And we'll always include Ireland on our next tours. Sorry that we haven't been here before, but thanks for having us. Ta-da.